I refused to co-sign my sister's mortgage after my parents went behind my back. My sister Madison has always been the golden child. While I was working 2 jobs in high school just to save for college, she was getting a brand new car for her 16th birthday. When I graduated with honors, they threw her a bigger party for making varsity cheerleading. It was always something. After college, I got my life together pretty fast. Landed a decent job at an accounting firm, saved up for a down payment, and bought my first house at 24. Meanwhile, Madison bounced between jobs and moved back in with our parents 3 times. But every family dinner, they'd find ways to praise her for figuring things out, while barely acknowledging that I had my mortgage paid down to 60% already. Last month, Madison called me all excited about this house she found. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, perfect neighborhood for when she starts a family. The only problem was her credit score was absolute trash from some credit card issues in college that our parents kept bailing her out of. She needed a co-signer. I told her I'd think about it, but honestly, I was already leaning toward no. Co-signing a mortgage is serious business, and Madison had never shown she could handle money responsibly. Plus, if she defaulted, my credit would be destroyed and I'd be on the hook for payments I couldn't afford while keeping up with my own house. But then my mom called me the next day, acting all weird and nervous. She started with small talk about work and the weather, which was already suspicious because my mom never calls just to chat. Finally, she got to the point and told me how proud she was that I was helping Madison with the house. I was confused because I hadn't agreed to anything yet. That's when she mentioned they'd already put Madison's application in and listed me as the co-signer. They used my social security number and income information from my tax documents that I'd left at their house last year when they were helping me with some paperwork. I completely lost it. I told my mom what they did was probably illegal and definitely shady as hell. She tried to play it off like it wasn't a big deal because family helps family, and they knew I'd say yes eventually anyway. She said they just wanted to speed up the process so Madison wouldn't lose the house to another buyer. I hung up and immediately called the mortgage company. Turns out they'd submitted the application that morning, and the loan officer was already impressed with my credit score and income. I told them to remove my name from everything immediately and that I never authorized any of this. The loan officer was super confused and said they'd need Madison to resubmit everything without a cosigner, which would probably mean denial since her credit was too low to qualify a loan. I said that wasn't my problem. Madison started blowing up my phone within an hour. She was crying and screaming about how I was ruining her life and that she'd already told the seller she could close in 3 weeks. She said I was being selfish and that it wasn't even a big deal because she wasn't going to default anyway. I told her that if she was so confident about making payments, she should have no problem getting approved on her own. She hung up on me. My parents called that night and my dad got on the phone this time. He said I was being unreasonable and that they were just trying to help Madison get on her feet. He reminded me how they helped me with college expenses and said I owed it to the family to help my sister. I reminded him that they didn't help me with college. I took out loans and worked my butt off. And even if they had helped me, that wouldn't give them the right to forge my signature and use my personal information without permission. Madison ended up having to look for cheaper houses and found a smaller place that she could qualify for on her own with a higher interest rate. She acts like it's the end of the world, but she has a house now, so clearly she didn't need me to co-sign anyway.